Throughout this great state of ours, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of young men and young women of enormous talent, of boundless potential, who do not have the opportunities, the access to the resources, to the incredible faculty, the collegial support that was necessary, that is necessary to ignite and nurture creative, ethical, scientific minds that could and should advance the human condition. It's been a while since I've heard that. But I mean that with all my heart. Consequently, our communities, our great state, our country are deprived of the talents of these and resources that these extraordinary individuals can bring to bear. Several of us in our room, we just heard from one, have made it their life's mission to assure that we find these students, that we help them develop talents they didn't even know they had, that we recognize this unlimited potential. My wife is one of these people who shares the support, opportunities, beliefs, and expectations for deserving students. But I'm not sure anyone does it better than a titan of a man that I've come to know and in many ways love since I started at IMSA 6 years ago, and that is Dwan Prude. Dwan Prude is the winner of the Alumni Titan Award, and it is aptly named Dwan. And you can read all about him in the program because he has unselfishly, tirelessly, and graciously shared his talents and Titan spirit with the IMSA community in so many ways. Driving students to the SEAMS program, bringing them the Promise program to them and their communities, providing the individual inspiration and support. I had the opportunity this last legislative session to work with one of these young men these young men, Chris Norris from East St. Louis, one of the 3 students who went with me to and Perva to Springfield to testify to the appropriations committees of the Senate, of the House. And Chris is from East St. Louis and talked about how he wants to give back to Illinois, what IMSA has meant to him because of what Dwan Prude did for him, of how he gave of himself to Chris. And Chris and his colleagues received a standing ovation from the House Appropriation Committees, as well as a 4+% increase in our state funding this year. Dwan is, and there's so many others that credit Dwan for inspiring them and for realizing that human potential is indeed boundless, when given the opportunities and access. Dwan has also inspired many of us in different ways, not just one-on-one in the community with his incredible coaching, his mentorship, but also with his boom shakalaka speeches. And I asked to speak before Dwan today, which is really a good thing because at Convocation, I thank the good Lord that he spoke after I did, and I thought I gave a good speech. And man, it was rocking. And the students still talk about that. They talked about it all year long, Dwan, how you'd inspired them and got the year off to such an amazing start, and just not just admire and appreciate you, but want to have that same power and eloquence and have that impact. Made such a difference to these young men and young women. It says in your program that he is a gifted coach, speaker, professional trainer, and team builder. He is also a gifted son to Lily, who's here, and she'll tell you all about Pie Fest, the pies that didn't always make it to the wing. He is truly a gifted husband to Lachelle, occasionally forgetful, as his daughters told me. But he is especially a gifted father, and these 7 children are truly a blessing, I know, to your family. But these children, and Gretchen, your children who are here tonight, are current students. Truly, this is the future, and it's so bright, and it just fills a room. So, Dwan, thank you for bringing most of your family with us, with you tonight. Dwan is an active member of the community. He serves as the senior pastor of the Bride of Christ Church of God in Christ in East St. Louis, Illinois. He works for Boeing Company in St. Louis as a procurement financial analyst for the F-18 platform, but he works for IMSA and has a mission that is truly larger in life and truly deserving of the Alumni Titan Award. Dwan Prude.
I saw them tearing a building down, a gang of men in a busy town with a ho-he-ho and a lusty yell. They swung a beam and the wall fell. So I asked the foreman, are these men skilled? The men you would hire if you had to build? He laughed and replied, no, indeed, just common labor is all I need. I can easily wreck in a day or two what builders have taken years to do. So I thought to myself as I walked away, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I the wrecker who works the town content with the labor of tearing down, or am I the builder who works with care, handling life by rule and square? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Give yourselves a hand for coming out on such a great occasion. I told my wife before I left the hotel that I was going to do my best to not shed a tear. All of us that attend IMSA, when we make it, we don't really realize that we were one big experiment. But they tell us that we're a laboratory, but we don't really know it. A few years ago, just yesterday, when I was at IMSA, I had the opportunity to hear Stephanie Pace Marshall introduce Rosa Parks. And one of the things that Stephanie Pace Marshall talked about that I profoundly remember is acquiring and capturing the moment. So for just 1 second, I'd like to talk to you about the moment. My life is a sum of people that have deposited into me. I'm the youngest of 8 children, 4 girls, and 4 boys. All 8 of us went to college. All of us are married with children. And my mom did an outstanding job, along with my father, of raising us in East St. Louis, Illinois. Now, we know the stereotypes of East St. Louis, Illinois. But when you have a strong family structure, you don't really see the things that other people see. And that's what IMSA did for us. It allowed us to have a strong structure where the substratum of that structure was success. The foundation of that structure was innovation. Everything as it relates to IMSA was about exploration. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to be a dork. Or as I tell my wife, it's okay to be a cute nerd. I am so grateful for being able to appreciate the moments in IMSA. When Keith McIntosh caught me doing something wrong, and he said, I'm gonna take care of you. You won't be able for the rest of the year to go out and experience what everybody else experiences at 9 o'clock. You have to go to your room. And I said, sir, yes, sir. I'm sorry I did that wrong. The moment where my roommate, Kenneth Grant, my senior year, we would swap out shoes because we wore the same shoes, or we would swap shirts, or we would dress alike for a dance, or we would go to a dance and dance. But those are the moments that you don't forget, where Dr. Schott takes a group of students to Puerto Rico, and we all learn and interact with each other and the community and stay in cabañas. And I barely got out of Spanish, so Kathy, I'm glad that you're so fluent because the moment when Kathy and I were in geophysics, and she was so excited about learning about the earth, and I was so excited about sneaking and looking at her paper. Those are the moments that make us at IMSA, where Bob Hernandez calls me a year after sending him an email saying, Bob, I'm going into professional speaking. I'm going to join the NSA, National Speakers Association, and I would really like to come back to IMSA. And a year went by, and I got that email, Kathy, and he said, Dwan, we would like for you to be the graduation or the convocation speaker, the moment of making a mistake and being able to be corrected and not lash out, but to say, yes, I made a mistake. That what was so great about IMSA. We were allowed to make mistakes. The right answer really didn't matter. So my encouragement to you all is this, my absolute favorite poem. And I thank you all so much, Bart Miller, Adrian Coleman, Q Backstrom. Is Susan Bernal here? Susan Bernal, thank you for telling me I'm dehydrated. I need to get off campus. There are so many great people. Phyllis Chestnut, that allowed me to dance with the dance squad. But just so many great people. And this is what I want to leave you all, my favorite poem, in the words of Rudyard Kipling. And thank you for my wife and my mother and my children. In the words of Rudyard Kipling, I love this poem. If you could keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you could wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your masters, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you could bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch those things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk them in a turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing left that's in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth the distance run, IMSA Board of Trustees, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you so much. Thank you.